Hey guys. So, I just spent the last 6 hours creating my final composition project, and it was probably the best work I've done in a long time. So, after finishing the bulk of this project, I wanted to talk a little bit about how we can go about creating a project in its entirety. So, from start to finish, my process is that first we need an outline. So we need a grand plan of what this thing is going to look like and how we're going to get there. So for me, writing music, that looked as simple as, really, seriously as simple as, I want the piece to start soft and peaceful, have a big and loud climax in the middle, and end soft and peaceful again. So after we have this grand outline, right? Next, we need to break the outline into smaller steps. So I know we've all probably heard of chunking countless times, right? But it really is a useful tool in just getting anything done, and it's invaluable in creating big projects like this. Splitting things up just helps you really get a clear sense of mind about what you need to do with each of these fragments of your outline. And you can really start getting into detail with each of the sections that you set aside for yourself. So for me, that looked like splitting my piece into 4 sections. So we started out with a medium-paced, peaceful section, so starting soft and peaceful like in the grand plan of my outline. Then we go into a slow, tense section, building up to a fast and desperate section, which is the big and loud climax, and ending with a medium-paced, hopeful section. So as part of my outline, that was the soft and peaceful section at the end there. And you see that my details, after I chunk everything out, are actually a little bit different than my grand outline. But it's supposed to be. Because what we're going to get into here is that we get so caught up in our heads trying to plan this whole thing out perfectly, this whole project out from start to finish perfectly before we even get started. But the reality is that plans change, and you'll only ever really know what you want to do, or at least in my case, what would sound good, by doing it. So, our last step in creating a project is we need to pick a section. Pick a section that we've chunked out and take the smallest action step we can towards getting it done. This is part of getting out of our heads. So we don't need to worry about writing, 5 different lines, writing all the instruments at once, the whole orchestra. We just need to write one note, one melody, one chord, one progression. So for me, that looked like sitting down and just playing things on the piano. I started with a key I liked, improvised a few seriously simple melodies and harmonies, found something I liked within all that, a catchy melody, a cool harmony that I just figured out just by sitting that down and doing it. If I was stuck in my head, I wouldn't be able to figure out this cool harmony and get the project started at all. And so, that was the start of my entire month-long project that I'm finally so close to finishing. All the writing of the music is done, but I still need to handwrite the entire score and all the parts. It's gonna be a lot, so wish me luck, guys. So one last thing when it comes to creating a project, because I know we all have had dreams and ideas about creating a big project, but maybe we've tried and we just haven't stuck it out, we haven't stuck with it, or we just can't figure out how to get started, we're not sure if we really want to do this, we don't feel pulled towards anything specifically, we don't feel pulled towards it strongly enough to sit here and work on it for, months or whatever, write a book, write a song or a movie. And I find that it really helps when creating a project to do something you love and are passionate about. And I know that's hard to find, maybe especially nowadays, when there's so many options and so much advice on the internet. And here's one source of advice here from me. But there's just so much advice out there, so many different people's opinions, so many different opinions, different points of view, philosophies, whatever. And it's so easy to get lost in all of them and have everyone you know, from your parents, your friends, your teachers, all telling you what you should do. But how you really know what you want to do is it's a feeling. It's a feeling you get in your heart and in your chest, and you just know it. Like when I listen to music, when I listen to the How to Train Your Dragon soundtrack, for instance, I get so excited. And I cannot stop listening to it, you know? Once you get me going, it's over. I have to sit down and write something. Of course, I have more tools now than I had in the past, when I was still a lot newer at this whole music thing. But I always knew that I loved how everything in music fit together, and the broader picture, so to say, rather than just focusing on one part and performing it to the most exact amount of detail that I can. So that's how I knew that I wanted to be a composer and go to school for composition. And I know we're kind of getting a little bit out of the scope of what the video was supposed to originally be about. But I'm sure you felt it. I'm sure you know. Even if you don't know off the top of your head, I'm sure you know that feeling. And you know the feeling I'm talking about. I'm sure that you know it. And you know that something has triggered it. Whether it's a sport like basketball, soccer, football, whatever. Whether it's music, art, film, dance. Everyone has that one thing. Or multiple. But if you do, then great. You can just pick one and get started. Because when you find something that you love and you're passionate about, and even for me, I'm studying it, so my work is my passion, right? And so you may think that, and some people may think it would get pretty dry, and you just wouldn't want to do it anymore. It would just feel like work. And at times it does. But nothing beats it. When you sit down and the hours slip away and you get into that like dreary-eyed state of flow and you're just sitting at the piano, writing music, typing it into your computer, into with the crummy MuseScore sounds. It's so good. It's really, nothing beats it. Nothing beats it for me. And I look back after, spending 6 hours nonstop on this, just writing music. I realize how much fun I was having. I was so in the moment. Nothing could take me away from it. No phone, no Instagram, YouTube Shorts, no doom scrolling. Just pure fun. And that's something that we don't have a lot of in today's world. We've kind of taken that away from ourselves. We've just become so obsessed with screens and TV shows and games. And as great as they are, right? I love games myself. I'm kind of just talking at this point, but bear with me here. We've become so engrossed in these things that they don't really do anything for us. Yes, they may be fun and sometimes even relaxing, but they're not real, They don't really affect us as purely and as deeply as something like our passions truly can. And if your passion is gaming or film or TV shows, great, go into that world, go create something. But we get so absorbed in YouTubers who mod video games, for example. I've gotten a lot of those on my feed lately. I watched one game YouTube video and, it was over for me. But we just get so absorbed in it, and we just have to realize that it's not real. It doesn't do anything for us, okay? So, anyways, back to the final recap here. When you find something you truly love and you're so passionate about, the hours just slip away and you don't even realize that you're doing work. You're gonna look back and realize how much fun you were having, completely engrossed in the moment. So, my call to action for you, right? Find something you're passionate about and that you find fun, and do something with it. Create something, build something, do something, whatever you want to do. Just take a step towards creating something. Thanks for listening.